High Spot Podcast. I am Jeff Martin alongside the trendsetter Brian Berga. We are so thrilled because I can put this off my bucket list. I got to see Faye Jackson in person.
Yes, we got a chance to see her in person.
She brought her milkshakes to Ridgefield Park, New Jersey, and I'm glad I had the best seat in the house to watch it. Did double duty. How did it feel? You took on Jordynne Grace, and then you were in the Chad Adams Memorial Battle Rumble. That is double duty on your first time here at Pro Wrestling Magic. How do you feel?
Exhausted.
Yeah.
But
in a good way, though.
Yes, very much so. I am so happy to be a part of Pro Wrestling Magic. This is one of the top companies in New Jersey, and just for them to reach out to me and say, hey, can you think you can beat Jordynne Grace? So, yeah, I'm going to put you in a match with that. And, of course, the competitor that she is, like, good God almighty. Like, all props to her. Sweet girl. And, yeah.
And we'll leave it at that. Yeah. Sweet girl.
Sweet girl, and, yeah.
Can take a beating, but can also give one out, too.
Yeah. You see my face? Yeah. Okay.
No, she was actually going to bestow upon you her nickname. So she was actually going to start naming you Thick Mama Pump.
I did hear her say. I mean,
kind of surprised her a little bit there.
I mean, Pro Wrestling Magic, if they want to make that a tag, I'm just saying, the Thick Mama Pumps, we can do that.
How'd you like the atmosphere of Pro Wrestling Magic?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing fans.
Feels very intimate, doesn't it?
Yes, this is what wrestling should be. It should be people just into it, people liking what you do. Just everything about Pro Wrestling Magic and the atmosphere was amazing tonight.
Listen, there's going to be a Women's Royal Rumble coming up. And just talk about the strides that women's wrestling has just had in the last year or so. 2017, the women's revolution. Now women seem to have that. There's like a demand calling for a demand.
Yes.
Just talk about all the strides that women's wrestling is making in the past year.
Okay, so not to put my age out there, but
you'd be the first woman actually to do that. Honestly.
But me growing up, I idolized Jacqueline.
Okay.
I idolized Sable. I idolized Tori Wilson and Lita and Trish Stratus. But it was always something about them, and Chyna and Luna. Mm-hmm. But it was something about them where they were based on looks and not so much skill. But now you have to prove not only are you a badass in the ring, you can look cute doing it as well. This is a tough sport.
Yeah.
A very tough sport, especially for women. Because we still have to get over that hump of, okay, she's cute, but she can't wrestle. Or she can wrestle, but she's not that cute. And that's just something that women have to deal with. We have to, with guys, it's different. They work their ass off. They can be 600 pounds to 120 pounds. As long as they work their ass off, they get it. They're in. They got fans. Women are judged on a different critique.
I wonder what those could be.
So now I love this revolution of women's wrestling because we're giving our all. We're trying to show, we're not just TNA, to put it that way. Even though I do have TNA and I don't mind showing it.
Yeah, not the yeah, exactly.
On it,
thank you. God bless you for doing that too.
Exactly. I know what I am. I am a plus size woman, which makes it even harder for me. But I come here and I go anywhere to prove that I should be in that ring. Besides looking at my appearance, I want you to see me in that ring. Like, all right, she can go. Like a fat girl can go.
See, and that's even the point, that we shouldn't even be talking about our body image, or it should be what we can do in the ring. You know what I mean? And for you, and now, of course, Nia Jackson in WWE, and she's proven that she's comfortable with herself.
Yes.
I think, honestly, if you are, I don't care if you're 400 pounds, if you're 150 pounds, it's what you do in the ring. And what you did in the ring today with Jordynne Grace was great.
Thank
and then
you.
competing with the men, too. Is that something that you want to do? You want to dabble in?
Absolutely.
Yeah? It's like the thing now, right? With the intergender battles now. I know Joey Ryan and Candice LeRae do it.
Did you see me in there with Fala? I'm just saying. I tried. I definitely tried. I tried to put a little charm on him. I tried.
Yeah, and it worked to an extent, you know.
A little bit, but that's still something I will have to. That's a new conquest for me. Seeing that I couldn't get him out, he got me out. So now my conquest is, let me try to beat him. It's going to be hard, but that's something that I can put on my bucket list.
Ring of Honor has presented now the women of Ring of Honor a chance to vie for a championship belt, something that we were talking to a lot of people about. Man, this is something that should do. It's kind of long overdue.
Yes.
How do you feel now you have the opportunity to vie for that championship? What would it mean for you to be a women's champion of Ring of Honor? Maybe to be the first, but maybe to even have it one day. What would it mean to you?
Well, for the tournament, unfortunately, I'm not in it because I didn't make the cut, which is fine. Because I'm still new to this. A lot of people think that I've been doing this for years. I've been wrestling. My 2-year anniversary of wrestling is coming up next month.
Congratulations.
Congratulations on that.
So there's tons of women that should have that opportunity before I have it. But after they crown that champion, that's when I can study and look and see and be like, all right, so
start planning.
Yeah. So since you got the belt, I need to start gunning for you.
I mean, you said, you're coming up on your 2-year anniversary, like, congratulating you on that. But, watching you in the ring, and this isn't just because you're here, you really seem to have a good vibe of what you're doing in there.
Oh, thank you.
In terms of a learning curve, and I always find it interesting, I always ask every talent this, and I know people get annoyed when I ask, but I apologize because I find it fascinating. The learning curve for something like this. It isn't something you could just jump in there or anybody's like, hey, I'm a fan of wrestling, I want to go in there and give it a shot. No, it takes a certain unique individual to go out there and do it and put it all together. At this stage right now, it being 2 years coming up, where do you feel you're at right now? What do you feel you still need to want to continually focus and work on to improve, obviously, at the tail end of 2018?
For me, I will always tell people, as much as if they like my matches, if they don't like my matches, I am still new to this. I'm still learning off of everyone. Just like with my match tonight, like Jordynne has been doing this for a while. Yeah. So I learned off of her tonight. And maybe next time, if I'm granted another championship match, since I was able to learn off of her,
I can teach her things.
Yes. Maybe that will be my advantage. You constantly have to learn and evolve in this business. And it's not just going to training. It's what you eat. It's how you work out. It's studying the tapes. It's studying the grapes. It's the grapes, not the grapes.
Eating the grapes.
Yeah, eating the grapes.
Eating the fruits is in there. Fruit's good. Simple sugars.
Watching the grapes and having a passion for this business. It is a 24-hour-a-day job. It is 24 hours.
And with that being said, I mean, wrestling is, Jeff and I talk about it on the show. It seems like in 2017, there was such a huge boom for it. Like, before you knew it, every independent promotion, you'd go out there on social media, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is happening. With social media being as popular as it is, and I always ask, this is another question I always ask talent too, how vital is it for you, especially 2 years and trying to make this your career, this is your life? How important is social media out there right now, especially now for professional wrestling, to go out there and get your content out there? It's not like the old days where you're tape trading.
Right.
You're actually going out there. You can watch your matches on YouTube.
Right.
You can go to promoters on the West Coast or overseas and say, hey, listen, this is what I do.
My
Would
video
you be
resume
interested?
here,
Exactly.
You can just click
It's your modern-day business card. How do you use social media to your advantage so you can get those opportunities of being booked in certain places that you want to be?
Well, for me, I think what I do is a little different that makes me stand out, because not only do I put out there that I wrestle, I also put out there that I'm a plus-size model. So
yes,
it does help in one sense or another.
Now, you were a plus-size model prior to being a wrestler?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
Yes. So for other people, you have everybody that's on the internet. There's not a person. There's even 5-year-olds that's on the internet, and they shouldn't be. But
that's a whole other story. That's a whole other
they shouldn't be, but they are, and they go on YouTube. So it's always good to put up your content on YouTube. It's always good to use your Twitter. It's always good to use your Instagram. It's always good to reach out to people and make that connection. And I'm not saying, hey, at Pro Wrestling Magic, book me, here's my stuff, and they ignore it. I mean, you have to go and dig and find out who the promoter is. do the right resume, do the right highlight clips, and send it to them. So maybe you're booked, maybe you're not. If not, it's probably because they didn't need you just yet. But you got to keep trying. This is also a business where a lot of people give up after a while.
It's
tough. No, it really is. And a lot of people, they'll do one chance, second chance, third chance, and people give up. Yeah. You cannot give up. And that's something I done had people that's made it all the way up there and say, the reason why I got there is because I constantly hounded them. I constantly was talking to them. I was constantly sending them stuff. Yes, some promoters are like, no, don't send me too much. If I want you, I'll contact you. But some promoters, they need to know, and they want to know that you really want to be here. So,
well, the key is you don't sit around and wait. You go out there and you make your own.
No one's gonna be like,
knocking at your door.
You gotta do it, and I think that's a mistake that a lot of professional wrestlers make. They wait for the opportunities to come to them.
Yeah, of course. And you can't be doing that. You have to be proactive.
Yes, it works both ways. If you know there's a company you want to work, go send your stuff. And
don't take no for an answer.
Yeah,
basically.
if it's the top company, like here, what if Pro Wrestling Magic doesn't want you? Well, there's SWF, there's WrestlePro, there's other companies in New Jersey that you can work until you build your name up to get into that company that you want to get into.
Listen, as firsthand her social media, and I like every picture that she puts out there, so I know her social media, it's outstanding.
Stop marking out, Jeff, seriously.
I can't help it,
it's man. Okay, I like it.
I can't help it. Wow.
At least you like it. I got to deal with it on a consistent basis all the time, but okay. Go ahead,
Jeff. What in 2017, for example, you're a fan of wrestling, right?
Yes.
What have you been a fan of this in 2017, 2018 that you think wrestling is at an upturn? What has you been a fan of? Like, is there a particular match? It doesn't have to be women's wrestling. Like, for example, we were talking to Sawyer Fulton before, and we were talking about Wrestle Kingdom. We were talking about Alpha versus Omega. Just talk about that. I know you also, do come in contact with the Young Bucks and them and stuff like that. Just tell me, like, do we appreciate what they're doing right now for the wrestling business? I mean, where you can have your own Hot Topic shirt. And
man.
I mean, how awesome is that? Like, what are you a fan of right now?
That's why you have to brand yourself, because sometimes it's not getting to the top. Sometimes you can just do it on your own. You got to get the people there and just be supportive of you. I absolutely love Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
Thank you. God bless you for saying that. Kenny Omega is the future of this business.
I absolutely love anything. I'm like a big fan of New Japan right now. And I'm so sorry I can mess up everybody's names. I'm not the best with names.
Listen, I know Okada and Naito, and that's fine. I don't need to know their first name.
Oh, Okada is the GOAT.
Yeah?
Okada is the greatest of all time to me.
Wow.
Okada is the GOAT. But then there's Ishii. I mean,
yes, it's true.
Yeah, and you know what's amazing too? That they're all humble too.
Yes.
Like Cody, he's been in Pro Wrestling Magic, heck of a guy.
Yes.
Kenny Omega, from everything we know, humble, just wants to make the business better. Marty is awesome, young, but I mean, they're all good guys
and
too.
Look at Cody. Look at what he's doing.
Yeah.
He was at the top. He could still go back if he wanted to, I'm sure.
And he bet on himself.
But look what he's doing right now. He's put his name up there with like a Finn Balor.
Yeah. What do you like? Do you watch WWE?
Yeah, I do.
What do you like? What do you like about it right now? Because it's tough, honestly. We go to a bunch of these shows, right? And then we've been to Ring of Honor Final Battle. We've been to Wrestle Pros, right? Mm-hmm. And then when we watch WWE TV, we're like, oh man, you're like, but what do you like right now?
I love their women's wrestling right now.
Women's wrestling?
I love their women's wrestling right now. I was so happy when Paige came back.
Yeah.
She's one that had to bet on herself too, and I was so I think I fangirl. I love her mother too. So, so I love when she came back. I love Nia Jax. I love that it's almost like I want to say that me and her almost started at the same time.
I could see one day there be an interaction with Nia Jax. How awesome would that be?
And I love seeing her progression.
Yeah.
like her progression to me is amazing. It's not easy doing stuff on those ropes. It's not. And I love seeing, like, she does the cannonball now.
Yeah.
And she does it just from, like, hitting through the middle. I can't do that. Yeah, I'll get you in a corner and bloop, got you. I can't do it just from you sitting in them. No. No, I love her progress. I love what NXT is doing with their women.
Yeah, of course. They're always replenishing. They're always looking. It's funny how they mention NXT as like the future brands, but when you look at it, a lot of people who've been in the business for a while go to NXT.
Look at Amber Moon.
Exactly.
Moon, yep.
And she just won. Jeff also had a chance to speak to during the WrestleMania weekend, and one of the most humblest person you'll see. But again, at the same time, she's been around this business for a while, so she's not. This isn't new to her.
Yeah.
Maybe the TV aspect might be new to her, but you're talking about in terms of progression. I thought it was pretty interesting because. What I'm always interested in is when we see you out there and that you go through that curtain, how much of it is Faye Jackson? Because here's the thing. Most people I always consider, like, from what you hear, I always hear a lot of people say, the people are making on top, the supers are making on top, is, they take themselves and they crank up the volume really high. Mm-hmm. So when we see you out there performing and doing your thing, how much of that is Faye Jackson, going out there performer, and how much of it is Faye Jackson internally the Mark wrestling fan that loves professional wrestling?
People could tell you behind that curtain, I probably want to throw up, like legit, like the jitters. Yeah. But when my music hits, it's like turn on Beyonce. You're an autopilot, and basically you're in that moment. Turn on Beyonce. You got to crank it up. Faye, it's your time to go. Show them why your milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. So
Steve Austin, oh hell yeah! My final question is, what do you want to improve on in 2018? Like what goals do you want to accomplish in 2018? That's my final question for Faye Jackson.
Right now, my only goal is trying to get on that top rope. That's trying to get my big butt up there on that top rope. I'm constantly training. And I'm constantly looking for different promotions to work. I'll work anywhere. I don't care who it is, as long as you give me the opportunity. And if you see something you want to invest in me or whatever it is, I am happy to be there. So right now, I'm not going to say I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, I want to get all the way there 2018. My progression, everybody has their own pace. Mm-hmm. And right now, I think that my pace is, study more, work harder, get leaner, get faster. Till when it's 2019, I can say, all right, now it's time for me to step my game up a little bit more and do the same thing. Work harder, get faster, get leaner, train more, things like that. So, I'm not going to say slow and steady wins the race, but it actually kind of does.
That's very true. Faye, we thank you so much for taking a few minutes out of your time. We know you had to pull double duty tonight and, definitely doing it with a smile on your face, which we greatly appreciate. Where can people find you on social media?
You can find me on social media, Faye Jackson 419 on Twitter, on Instagram, and Faye Jackson on Facebook.
Faye Jackson, ladies and gentlemen, surely will be named in 2018 and beyond. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Keep a lookout for her, guys.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.